Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fun episode of the Global English Guide. I'm Tyler, your host, and I'm super excited to have you join us today. Learning English is like a cool adventure, and we're here to make it simple and enjoyable for you. Today, we're diving into a really helpful topic: how to remember new words in a smart way.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ira, your co host, and I'm so glad to be here with you all. Knowing lots of words is a big part of learning any language, but sometimes it can feel tricky. Have you ever tried to learn a bunch of words and then forgotten them a few days later? If that's happened to you, don't worry, you're not alone.
That's right, Ira. A lot of people find it hard to keep new words in their heads. But here's the good news: it doesn't have to be boring or tough. We've got easy tricks to help you remember words and use them every day without stress.
Exactly, Tyler. By the end of this episode, you'll know why words slip away, how to skip common mistakes, and the best ways to make learning fun and useful. So grab a notebook or just sit back and listen. We're starting now.
All right, let's talk about the problems with remembering new words. Ira, have you noticed how some people get frustrated because they forget words they learned just a couple of days ago?
Oh, yes, Tyler, it happens all the time. One big problem is that people try to learn words without any story or use. It's like trying to remember a list of numbers. It doesn't stick because there's no connection.
Yep. And I think another issue is when people try to learn too many words at once. They might want to remember 50 or 100 words in one day, thinking it'll work. But our brains can't handle that much so fast.
Not at all. Doing too much at once might help for a quick quiz, but for keeping words long term, it doesn't work. It can also make you feel tired and sad when you forget most of them later.
True. And another thing I've seen is that some people don't go back to the words they learn. They study once and hope the words stay forever. But without checking again, they fade away.
Exactly, Tyler. It's like planting a flower. You can't water it just once and expect it to grow. You need to care for it often. Also, if people don't use the words, it's hard for their brain to keep them. If you don't talk or write with a word, it's easy to forget.
Good point, Ira. And one more problem is when people depend too much on their own language. They translate every word into their home language instead of thinking in English. This can help at first, but it might slow down learning to use words naturally.
Yes, using your own language too much can block you. It's better to connect the word to its meaning or a picture, which we'll talk about soon. So, to sum up, the main troubles are no context. Learning too many words at once, not checking back, not using the words, and relying on translation too much. But don't worry, we have fixes.
Yes, now that we know the problems, let's talk about smart ways to beat them. Let's see how you can remember new words easily and use them in your daily English. Since we've looked at the common issues, let's share some tricks to help you keep new words in your mind. Ira, what's the first trick you'd suggest?
One of the best ways to remember words is by learning them with a story. Instead of just writing down words alone, try to see them in sentences or short tales. When you know how a word works in different talks, it's easier to remember and use it.
Great idea. For example, if you're learning the word tell, which means to share something, you could learn a sentence like, "Can you tell me a story?" Or, "He told us about his trip." Seeing the word in real examples makes it more important.
Yes, Tyler, and it's not just one sentence. The more examples you see or make, the better. You can write your own sentences or read stories to see how the word fits.
Yes. And another trick that works well is making pictures in your mind. This is when you think of a fun image that connects the new word to something you know. For example, If you're learning the word tree, you might imagine a big green tree with birds.
That's right, and using things you know can make it more personal. If you're learning the word cold, you could think of a cold ice cube or a snowy day. That personal link helps you remember better.
That's a cool tip, Ira. Pictures make words feel real, which helps you recall them. Now, let's talk about a strong trick called spaced learning. Have you heard of this, Ira?
Oh, yes. Spaced learning means you review words at different times, not all at once. Instead of looking at a word every day for a week, you check it after 1 day, then 3 days, then a week. This keeps the word in your mind longer.
Right. And studies show this works because our brains forget things fast unless we go back to them. You can use apps like Anki or Quizlet to help, or make your own plan. You don't need just cards. You can write words and look at them every few days until they stick.
Exactly, Tyler, and it's better than trying to learn everything in one go. Another great way is to use the words in real life. The best way to remember a word is to say it or write it. Even if you don't have someone to talk to, you can practice alone. Talk about things around you or write a small story with your new words.
I really suggest making a daily habit. Try to use one new word each day. For example, make a sentence like, "The dog is happy today." The more you use it, the easier it gets.
Yes, and don't worry if you make mistakes. It's okay. Keep trying, and soon the word will feel natural. And there's a fun way to help too: cards and games. You can turn learning into play with apps that test you, or make your own cards with pictures or sentences.
Cards are awesome, especially if you add something special. Maybe draw a funny picture or a sentence you like. The more fun you make it, the better it sticks. And for people who like pictures, another trick is memory stories. This is when you make a silly or fun tale to link the word to its meaning. For example, if you're learning the word small, imagine a small mouse in a big shoe.
That's a fun example, Tyler. Silly stories stick because they're easy to remember. It's great for hard words. Lastly, watching and listening to English things like shows, songs, or talks can help. When you hear words in real talks, it makes them stick better because it feels natural.
Totally. So, to wrap up, the smart ways to remember words are: 1. Learn with stories using sentences or tales. 2. Make pictures in your mind to connect words. 3. Use spaced learning to review at different times. 4. Use words daily in talking or writing. 5. Play with cards and games. 6. Make memory stories. 7. Watch and listen to English stuff. These tricks make learning easier and fun. Find what you like and keep doing it. Consistency is the key.
Now, let's talk about the fun side of learning words, because it doesn't have to be boring, right?
Oh, yes. Ira, making it fun keeps you excited and happy. One of my favorite fun tricks is word link games. You can play by thinking of a new word and connecting it to lots of things.
I, it, I love that. For example, if the word is warm, you could think of a warm sun, a cozy blanket, or hot soup. The more links you make, the easier it is to remember.
Yes, and you can do this alone or with a friend. It turns learning into a game. Another fun way is making up stories. Create small tales with your new words. The crazier, the better.
Totally. The funnier your story, the more it stays in your mind. For example, if you learn the word big, imagine a big elephant riding a tiny bike.
Haha, I like that. The sillier, the better. Another playful trick is a word hunt. Challenge yourself to find new words in books, shows, or outside. If you watch a movie, write down 5 new words and use them in your own sentences later.
That's fun because it feels like an adventure. And speaking of shows, singing is a cool way to learn. Oh, pick an English song, learn the words, and sing along. It helps with saying words right and keeps them in your head.
That's a great idea, Ira. Songs stick in our minds, so use them to help. Another fun method is acting. Find a friend or practice alone and pretend to be in different scenes. For example, act like you're buying food or shopping using new words.
Acting is great because it lets you talk without worry. It helps you use words naturally, and if you're alone, try it in front of a mirror. Pretend to chat and use new words. That's a safe way to practice.
If you like a challenge, make your own word tests. Write down meanings or sentences and guess the word. Do this once a week to see how you're doing. It's a fun way to check your growth, and it feels good when you get it right.
Exactly. And another fun idea is comics. If you like drawing, make a comic with new words or read English comics online. Pictures help the words stick while keeping it light.
Wow, these are great fun ways. To sum up, the playful tricks are 1. Word link games with lots of connections. 2. Make silly stories. 3. Word hunts in books or shows. 4. Sing with songs. 5. Act out scenes. 6. Make word tests. 7. Use comics or drawings. These make learning exciting, so keep it fun and you'll remember more.
Yes, Tyler, learning should be a game. Enjoy it, and the words will stay. Now, let's talk about mistakes people make so you can avoid them and learn better.
Since we've shared fun ways to learn words, let's look at common errors to stay away from. These will help you learn smarter. One big mistake is learning words alone without a story. It's good to learn new words, but if you don't know how they fit in talks, they won't help much later.
Yes, you might know a word, but if you can't use it in a chat or sentence, it's hard to keep. It's better to learn with examples or talks so you get the real meaning.
Tyler, another error is trying to learn too many words at once. Doing a big list in one day can feel too much, and your brain can't hold it all.
Ira, that's true. It's better to learn a few words at a time. Use spaced learning, like we said, to give your brain time to save the words.
Another mistake is caring too much about the meaning and not how to use it. You might learn what a word means, but if you don't know how to say it in talks, it won't stick.
Yes, meanings alone don't show the full picture. Learn how the word works with others and in different talks.
Also, many people don't check their words again. They learn once and forget to look back, so the words go away fast.
Consistency is important. Go over your words often. Even a few minutes a day helps a lot.
Another error is being scared of mistakes. Some people don't use new words because they fear getting it wrong, but that's normal. It's okay to try and mess up. Practice makes it better.
Yes, Tyler, the more you use a word, even with errors, the more you learn. Don't be shy. Talk and try.
Lastly, some stick to easy words and don't try harder ones. If you only learn simple words, your English won't grow much. Push yourself to learn bigger words as you get better. It helps you sound natural.
That's a good point. Don't stay with basics. Try new words to speak clearer. So, to sum up, avoid these. 1. Learning words without stories. 2. Doing too many at once. 3. Focusing only on meanings. 4. Not checking back. 5. Fearing mistakes. 6. Sticking to easy words. Fixing these will help you learn words well.
Now, let's finish with some tips to stay excited about learning words. Let's quickly go over what we talked about today. We shared lots of ways to remember new words easily. First, we looked at why people forget words, like feeling overwhelmed or not using them.
Then we gave Smart tricks like learning with stories, making pictures, spaced learning, using words daily, cards, memory tales, and watching English shows.
We also added fun ideas like word games, silly stories, hunts, singing, acting, tests, and comics. Plus, we talked about mistakes to avoid, like learning alone, cramming, or fearing errors.
Learning is about practice and fun, so keep going.
Yes, Ira, stay happy and use these tricks daily. The more you try, the better your English will get. Thanks for listening to Global English Guide. We hope this helps.
Subscribe, leave a comment, and share with friends. See you next time. Keep talking, learning, and growing your words. Bye for now.